Ryan Hoppe. Ryan Hoppe. Ryan Hoppe.
Tweet Ryan Hoppe at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Snapchat him at Hoppe Radio. And email him anytime at ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. Now back to the show.
Hey, what up? Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, here at the Kevin Holly Show Studios.
Hey, we're back.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're at Wacky Morning Zoo. Woo. What up, AJ?
What up? Feels good.
What is up,
here.
Kevin Holly?
I'm so happy you're back in the Kevin Holly Show Studios.
Yeah!
So your fight ended.
Call the show, 856-49-HOPPE. That is 856-49-HOPPE, and I will be sure to get to your calls in real time. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio and get the Hoppe Radio app and chat me live there. This is being brought to you by Metro PCS at 6813 Palm River Road, Speedy Link Metro PCS. If you go there and tell them that I sent you, they will hook you up with a top-notch deal. They will hook you up with the best service in town. They have 22 locations from Dade City, you know Dade City, all the way to Sarasota. The whole Bay Area, Kevin.
I love the Bay Area.
Oh yeah,
And if you tell them that AJ sent you, they'll kick you out of the store because I have a history with them.
Yeah, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, speaking of history, you said, the fight's over. Me and Ryan didn't have a fight. I was busy.
It was 2 weeks, man.
It was more than that. It was 3 weeks.
know.
I think it was 3 weeks.
I wasn't even mad at you. I was just like, ugh.
Oh, I know you weren't mad at me. I
I
felt
was
like
more just like, it was annoying because I booked the Tampa Bay Hot Sauce Company, but it worked out because we did it in their backyard and it was a more laid back feel.
Cool.
It was more just like
they're cool. They're
it was like
good group of guys.
I'm gonna wait for Kevin to hit me up because I didn't want to keep hitting you up and bothering you, and
You don't
you're
bother
very
me.
gracious to let me use your room. So it was one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna wait for Kevin to hit me up.
No, on my end, it was just a simple thing that I had really been very busy. The kids are out of school.
Oh, wow.
And I started a new job, so I had a lot of things going on, man. And I was
Such a busy guy, Kevin.
I'm a busy guy.
You're always doing something. You're always up to something new. You have a new job. You have a pretty fiance.
Aw.
I can't say the same thing anymore. That's all I'm going to say about that. I am single, and the only reason I put up a post on social media about it, and the only reason I'm mentioning it here, isn't for attention, isn't to draw people in. It's to let women know that I'm single, I'm a free agent, and I'm ready to mingle.
And also that you're not cheating on your fiance.
That's a good point.
That was the main reason I left that part out. Was I didn't want people to be like, oh, Hoppe was out at a bar and he was with a different girl. And I didn't want it going around that I'm cheating on my ex. I didn't want it going around that it was all her. She's the one that dumped me. And you will never, ever, ever, ever hear me say a bad word about my ex. Although
good.
I've wiped every single part of her off of my social media.
Mm-hmm.
So you will never, ever hear me say a bad thing. A part of me is like, damn, that was a year and a half. Time flew. Part of me was like, damn, that was a year and a half. It's a life experience. But a part of me was like, if she was going to dump me, you probably had the feelings for a little while. Could you have done it 6 months ago and gotten it over with?
I don't know, man. I heard you say bad things. You said she had a goatee and a dick. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Yeah, we need to clarify. That was a joke. All right. But what I'm saying is I've moved on, and I have a topic that I want to bring up. That is all you will ever hear me say about my ex. You will never hear me bash her on air. If I get offered on-air time to bash her, I will not say anything. I will never bash her.
Okay.
But here's the topic.
So I'm going to bash her.
Scratch off the list. Would you come tomorrow night for my show? Forget it. Never mind.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, she was going to be a guest?
It was going to be all about
riveting
bashing.
podcast.
Sorry.
Anyway. Breaking news. Not really. It's more of an opinion. You hear that basketball music from NBA on TNT in the background?
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about LeBron James and how people that are from the 90s that are so obsessed with Michael Jordan, that are so obsessed with the idea The thought that there could be a player that's just as good as Michael Jordan, it drives them nuts. These are the same people that are 90s kids or were in their 20s or 30s in the 90s that listen to Notorious B.I.G. every day or Sublime. They live in the 90s. They watch reruns of TV shows. They don't want to admit the fact that there might be a player just as good as Michael Jordan. Maybe he's not as successful in the finals, but there's a way, and there's proof that people are kind of afraid of the fact that LeBron James may be close to being the greatest of all time.
Oh, this is going to be a hot take. It's going to ruffle a few feathers just talking about this.
Yeah.
Well, if you look, I always thought that if you take 10 players from like before the 2000s and put them against 10 of the best players from here, they're going to lose because the game has changed. The athletic body build has changed from back in the 70s, and like, yeah, you still have these tall people, but like, if you look at LeBron, who's an actual freak of nature, and with add him on to Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and all these people, they can't keep up. The past generations couldn't really keep up with anything. That's just because as humans evolve, like as the time goes on, humans evolve.
Well, Ryan said leading into this segment before we started the show that I would have no input on this at all.
I wasn't sure.
Well, I don't know a lot about basketball because I sucked at it growing up, so I'm not really interested.
Me
but
too.
I did watch a couple of videos comparing LeBron to Michael Jordan recently.
Which ones?
Well, there was some videos that showed a lot of footage of guys like Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and it was very physical. They were throwing fists, and you don't see a lot of that nowadays. So I think the game has changed, and AJ's right,
Here's my thing. Maybe in 2010, 2011... 8 years ago, the whole Michael Jordan versus LeBron James debate began. And I'm not saying that Michael Jordan isn't the greatest of all time, because he is. But here's the thing. We seem to forget about Magic Johnson. We seem to forget about Larry Bird. We seem to forget about Jerry West. We seem to forget about Bill Russell. We forget about all these players. I'm not saying they're the greatest of all time, but it wasn't like they didn't play. Like, I'm just saying it's crazy how people that claim they're basketball fans only focus on Jordan. It's like if you're going off of rings and you're saying,
if you go off of rings, you're going to say Bill Russell was the best of all time.
That's my thing. And that's what Ian Beckles brought up on Sunday when I was doing the promotions for his show, was he basically was like, you can't tell me that if you didn't put LeBron James on Michael Jordan's team that they wouldn't be as good. And if you put Michael Jordan on LeBron's team, that he would win all the rings. It's just comparing eras to me is either a person that doesn't want to admit that LeBron James is just as good, and it's a way of people not wanting to let go of the past. Here's the other issue when it comes to the way people think about LeBron James, the way people cover LeBron James, and the way people talk about LeBron James, the way people think about LeBron James, the way people watch LeBron James, anything involved with LeBron James. And I've never seen it with any other athlete. Maybe Tom Brady. When LeBron's winning and he hits that buzzer beater against the Raptors, or he comes back and he beats the Pacers in 7 games in the first round, and he carries his team literally in Game 7 against the Celtics and takes them to the finals, LeBron James, greatest of all time. So good. But then he gets swept by the Warriors this year. Oh, LeBron James is overrated. LeBron James isn't good. And then you find out that LeBron James was playing with a hand that was partially broken.
Sure he was. Yeah, of course he was. Sure.
If you look at his numbers, they weren't as good as the first game. And this whole thing where people are like, well, LeBron James is an attention whore. LeBron James isn't as good as Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan played through flu games and Michael Jordan did this and that. Here's my thing. Anybody who goes that LeBron James isn't as good after Game 1, after hurting his hand, and that LeBron James kind of went down in playing and wasn't as accurate, I would love to see you have a broken hand or have a flu game like Michael Jordan. I would love to see them at least score 2 points. Like, is LeBron James a raging narcissist who's very vain and very much into himself? Of course he is, but he has the social media outlet. You can't possibly tell me that Michael Jordan was humble. If Michael Jordan had social media, you better believe, you better think You better imagine that if any of these players, anybody that is an all-time great, anybody that won rings back in the day, you can't possibly tell me they wouldn't be on social media being attention whores. You can't possibly tell me that these guys that had such big egos were so much more humbler than LeBron James. It's people wishing they were younger. It's the idea that Jordan never lost in the finals. Also, Jordan was a favorite in every single finals. Jordan had the greatest coach of all time with Phil Jackson. Jordan also had Pippen, and he had better role players. LeBron James in 2007 took a crap team and lost to the Spurs. And you're not going to win every single finals. But the idea, Kevin, the thought process, the idea that he took them to 8 finals in a row, if it was the Heat or the Cavs, and went to 8 finals in a row, you can't deny that that's greatness. You got to admit that even if he lost to the Spurs one time, or even if he lost to the Warriors a few times, it's a little unfair. He was playing against the brain-dead J.R. Smith or Kyle Korver, who lost his brother this year and wasn't accurate at any time when shooting a three-pointer, or Jeff Green, who was good in Game 7 against the Celtics, but never was good in the finals. You can't tell me that it was a little unfair that Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Curry, who are all going to be future Hall of Famers, and Kerr, who's a future Hall of Fame coach and a better coach than Lou, that it wasn't a little bit of an unfair advantage. And everyone's going to go, oh, well, LeBron choked. No. LeBron had jack shit to play with. J.R. Smith is the biggest waste of talent in the NBA. He can shoot the three, he can dunk, he has a decent jump shot, but he literally, I'm not saying has a basketball, or I'm not saying has a normal IQ of 70, but he literally has the basketball IQ of below 70. He's not a very smart guy. He is a guy one time, while play was going on and he was playing for the Knicks, he began talking to a player on the sideline and forgot that the game was going on. So when everybody was so outraged and was like, oh my God, J.R. Smith thought the game was over with and rebounded the ball with 5 seconds left and ran out the clock, I was dumbfounded, but I went, that's J.R. Smith. That's his legacy. That's what he brought to the hardwood court. Just saying. You feel me, guys?
I think maybe the argument is that...
What's the argument? How do you see it? How do you view it, Kevin Holly?
Well, let him talk.
Well, I'm thinking that a lot of the other people that view this, because I don't have an opinion, I don't have a dog in the fight, are thinking that LeBron not only didn't have shit to play with this year, okay, but that the level of play across the board isn't as good as it was back in the 90s.
That's the thing, too. That's the thing I'm sick and tired of hearing. Oh, well he's not playing against Patrick Ewing. Yeah. He's not playing against Reggie Miller. He's not playing against Larry Bird or Magic Johnson.
Well, if they're so great, why aren't they playing today?
No.
I love to say that. It just throws them off guard. They're old. What if they were the best? They could, just.
What I'm saying is, you can't tell me that he wasn't playing against professional athletes. This whole idea, I know the talent isn't. I know the talent isn't as good as Patrick Ewing or anybody he faced in the finals, Michael Jordan, or anybody in the past.
Are you kidding me? No. It seems like there's like a huge star on every team. But it seems like I'm
going off the point of people that are such Michael Jordan purists that they go, oh, LeBron James doesn't play against as much of talent as Michael Jordan.
What are you talking about?
I hear
Is there truth to this, AJ? Or?
I hear this all the time from people that are such huge Michael Jordan fans. All the time I hear, oh, LeBron James has it easy. You're playing in the professional NBA association. Of course you have it hard. I'm just saying I'm sick and tired of hearing people always try to defend Jordan. How about this? We may never know who's the greatest of all time because maybe LeBron James is. I'm just sick and tired. I think Jordan is the greatest of all time, but I'm sick and tired of hearing everybody be so definite about it. Like, there's no chance in hell that, what about Kobe or Tim Duncan? I'm just sick and tired of it. Enough already. It's played out. If you bring it up, you're bored and you're trying to bring up controversy while sitting at a bar with your friends or in a Facebook group. You're just bored with your life.
Go ahead.
Sorry, there's just something like that humans like want. They just have like kind of like a need to classify things, or like they have the need to like be obsessive over who's the best of all time or who's like the top 10. Like they need to fit somebody in a category, and if it's not within their means, like they they'll just lose it. They'll be like, what are you talking about, this person? Like, I don't know. I don't understand why people are so obsessed with comparing LeBron or Kobe to Michael Jordan and stuff like that. It should be just they're their own people. You should just maybe compare them around the league. And I know it's just something because the NBA has been around for a long time, and Michael Jordan was that iconic player that LeBron James is icon status rivals. But everybody just has a big. Sorry, everybody just has a big.
I wonder is Jordan the Babe Ruth of the NBA and LeBron is Lou Gehrig?
My thing too.
You're saying he has ALS?
Maybe.
How about this, Kevin?
It's terrible, Kevin.
How about the fact that he's been playing since 2003 for 15 years? Mm-hmm. I feel like we've spent most of this time arguing about him and not appreciating how fucking good LeBron James is. I feel like we've spent the whole time arguing over him, and we haven't gone.
Is he as good as Jordan, though? Probably
we'll
not.
Never know. Even though I think Jordan's better, we'll never know. Also, I
think he has more MVPs than Jordan.
I think Jordan's stats, though, speak for themselves. More assists, more this, more that. Pretty sure. Do a line-by-line comparison. I think Jordan's probably
I think
take the cake on
LeBron
that.
probably has more assists. I would say that Michael Jordan didn't pass the ball as much.
Did LeBron ever have a Hitler mustache?
That's true. Now, you have to take the Hitler mustache into account.
Yep. Does LeBron have shoes like Air Jordans? I don't think so. Air LeBrons? I've never heard of them.
LeBron James is ranked 11th all-time in assists. Up number 10, Andre Miller. 9, Chris Paul. 8, Gary Payton. 7, Isaiah Thomas. 6,
Michael
Robertson.
Jordan.
5, Michael Jordan. 5, Magic Johnson, not Michael Jordan. 4, Mark Jackson. 3, Nash. 2, Kidd. 1, John. I don't see Michael Jordan above that, so you have that fake news, Kevin.
I don't even know what an assist is, Ryan Hoppe. All right? I don't play basketball.
I don't see LeBron James getting beaten by Michael Jordan. I also don't see Michael Jordan in the top 30 in assists.
That's
so that
CNN.
idea you had.
I don't know. Whatever.
I'm just saying.
The other stats.
Oh, okay, so what I said was fake news. So LeBron currently LeBron right now has 13 MVPs. Jordan had 14. And LeBron's played in 217 playoff games. MJ's only played in 179. And obviously
But he was more accurate and won more rings. So shut the fuck up. Enough of that.
He was better looking.
I think LeBron James is that guy that he is good looking because he's good at basketball and he's got a lot of money and he's very confident. But like if LeBron James was just working at like a Wawa, or if LeBron James was working IT, or if LeBron James was doing any other job, he wouldn't be as good looking. Like he's not ugly, but I'm just saying I think the idea that he's the best right now kind of makes them attractive.
I think he's better looking than Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael Jordan had that smooth look to him, like who's that Tyree, that actor, model, right? Michael Jordan kind of looked like that, but LeBron is jacked. He's jacked, man. You know, he's such a strong-looking dude.
Your dad chimed in.
My dad.
Yeah,
I love
6
my dad.
finals and 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs. Would have been 8 if he didn't retire. That's the other thing. I love you, Art. Thank you for having me over at Thanksgiving.
Aw.
You guys are great, but that's the thing that drives me nuts. So Michael Jordan supposedly left the NBA for 2 years because his dad died and he went to play baseball. But a lot of conspiracy people think that he did because he was betting on the game and they were like, we just want to give you 2 years to kind of chill out. Something happened with him in the league where he left for 2 years. Now, it's not official, but it's a lot of conspiracy around it. What I'm saying is, for those 2 years, the Rockets won with Hakeem Olajuwon and Pippen wasn't able to take them to the finals. So what I'm getting at is this whole thing that it would be guaranteed that LeBron James would win 8, or that Michael Jordan would win 8 in a row in the 90s, and that there's no way that he would have a year off drives me nuts. I'm sick and tired of hearing about that. I'm sick and tired of people going, you know what? He was undefeated and would have been if he played an 8 in a row. And LeBron James has been a champion 3 times, 2012, 2013, 2016, and all 3 of those games, he was finals MVP. And you could make an argument with 2 of the years that he lost, that was in 2015, and this year, that he could have been finals MVP while being a loser, which has happened once with Jerry West, but won't happen now because they don't want to do that. But what I'm saying is, That's kind of a comparison I don't agree with. It's kind of a comparison I can't get down with.
But you can agree that Jordan was the best of all time, right?
I can agree with that. I can agree that Jordan was probably the best of all time. I'm not denying it. I'm not against it. But at the same time, I'm kind of saying that LeBron James kind of has a chance to be the best of all time. And why not Magic Johnson? And why not Larry Bird? And why not Tim Duncan? And why not Bill Russell? And why not Will Chamberlain? It's like we forget about everything prior to 1985 when Jordan was drafted.
There's something so like there's something just so like when you tell somebody from that age, from that age when they started watching basketball, like if you tell them that LeBron James is a better player, they'll say, "Oh, my opinion, I think LeBron James is a better player than Michael Jordan." People take it as if we were making a personal attack on what they know or on how they on how they are.
You young whippersnappers.
There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate on people who would say that.
Don't just call it hate. I don't think it's hate, bro. I think
but they're pissed off, man.
They're just like really adamant about their opinion.
I've seen my high school teacher was arguing with like a student and about LeBron and MJ. And he was just very, very. I don't know how to describe.
Well, so it went back a long time, like 3 years ago.
Huh?
I'm ripping on how young you are.
Now, do I think there's any chance in hell, any chance possible, any chance in any way that Kevin Durant could even be close to being the best of all time? No. But at the same time, he averaged 29 points, 90% from the free throw line, 34% from three, which is 48% from field goals. He had 38 minutes per game. He had 7 rebounds per game. He had 5 assists per game in the postseason. Why aren't we talking more about Durant? I know he did a pussy. He did a bitch move. He was a coward for leaving the team that lost to the Warriors and then joining him. But
his stats aren't like LeBron's.
I'm not saying he's as good, but I'm just saying we have this disrespect towards him. But if that's what he wanted to do, I'm just saying we need to appreciate these players more. I feel like we spend the whole time debating and arguing over any little player, and we're not appreciating that they'll be gone sooner than later. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Let's please get off of basketball.
I don't
even watch basketball.
I have this other topic that's been driving me nuts. That's been driving me off the walls. That's been making me go crazy. That's been making me angry. It's been making me out of this world. Guess what?
What?
I'm sick and tired of when I go to Wawa, and this isn't about height, or when I go to 7-Eleven.
Is this about a speech impediment?
I don't get it.
Nothing to worry about it. Just keep going.
Why, did I say something wrong?
No. I'm just saying because this isn't about height, but maybe somebody made fun of your speech.
Big feet, big green feet.
Is this going to be about your clothes?
I'm sick and tired of homeless people asking me for money. Now, I've seen real homeless people that hang out at the library in the hometown I'm from that literally sleep in boxes and it's -10 out and they have absolutely nothing and they reek of failure and they reek of cigarettes and they reek of bad odor. I've seen true homeless people. In Chicago, I've seen legit homeless people sleeping in boxes with no teeth. I'm sick and tired of a person that has an Obama phone or a crappy flip phone and that has decent clothes on coming up to me, "Hey, can I ask you something?" And you're like, "No." And you're like,
"What was that?"
That's just them being very awkward. That's what they do, though. They come up and they don't.
Speech impediment you're talking about.
That's the hissing homeless man.
I know what you're saying, Ryan. They're not really homeless. They're not true homeless.
Shut up!
No!
What drives me nuts is that they come up and they go, "Can I have some money?" It's like, no, you cannot have money. I've seen true homeless people.
Wait, what makes them more homeless up there than down here?
Because they have decent clothes. And here's the thing, too. In Chicago, there's a higher unemployment rate. There's also higher taxes.
More competition. There's more people.
There's a lot more opportunities here. Here's To any homeless person, if there's any way you're listening, any homeless person, listen. You know what you can do so that you can get your drink at Wawa or get your Busch Light or whatever you want? You know what you can do? Walk around or bike, because you have plenty of time. Look at a house that during the day has hardworking landscapers mowing the lawn and go, hey, man, I'm really broke. I'm hardworking. I can do whatever I can. Can I work for you guys? Or go to the library. No one cares that you smell. Everybody works. Everybody smells at the library. Go on the internet, go to Craigslist, and look up jobs involving landscaping and hard work. If you want to be like the people, and you're tired of asking the people that actually have money, you're tired of asking them about money, and you're tired of looking at people that have money, maybe you can do something to accomplish having money. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying you can walk into H&R Block and get a job. I'm not saying you can walk into a bank or walk into Walgreens and immediately become somebody that's on a payroll and has benefits.
Well, you could walk into a bank and immediately be on a payroll, bro, if you do it right. You know, if you play your cards right.
I'm just saying.
Give me the money. Give me the money.
I don't know. Like, I agree with you. But at the same time,
Yes,
like, would you give money to a person in the Midwest, like a homeless person in the Midwest? Just because the change in temperature means that person is more qualified to have more money.
I've seen people,
even though they don't work.
I've seen people. Mm-hmm. When's the last time you went up north to Chicago, Kevin?
A long time ago, 90s.
Do you know about like the river when you cross the bridge and then there's like WGN and the Tribune building?
Sure, yeah.
In that area, it's near the Trump building. I remember I was walking to a job interview about 3 years ago. No, it was an internship interview at WGN Radio. I didn't get it, obviously, because I'm here. But it was cool to get there, see Gary Meyer, see a bunch of legends that work at WGN Radio. And I remember I was walking across the bridge, and I saw a homeless guy literally sleeping in a box. And he had absolutely no teeth. And he had a sign, and it's like 10 degrees out, and he had a sign, I'm so hungry.
I'll tell you what.
So you know what I did? You know what I did?
There's none of that in Florida.
You know what I did?
What did you do, buddy?
What I did
Did you
was after I got a coffee, I had like $4 left, and I gave him the $4. But here's the difference between people being homeless in a big city like that and people being homeless down here. It's a smaller town, so you can easily find something. If you're homeless in the city, you have no way to get to the suburbs. And the suburbs in Chicago are very pretentious. They're very douchey. They're very uptight. They wouldn't hire a homeless people. People down here in Florida are a little more...
That's suburbs everywhere, bro.
Listen, I've got some input. I got some input to this, man.
But what I'm saying is there's not as many ghetto suburbs in Chicago as there are down here that are willing to hire people. I'm just telling you, I lived there 21 years. I knew friends that lived in the ghetto. Yeah. I'm just saying the pretentiousness.
I don't think there's a difference.
Hey,
I don't think there's a difference.
There is, because I literally had a friend that lived in it. What I'm saying is, Kevin can agree with me because he's from the Midwest. There's just this pretentiousness.
Okay, that's fine if there's this pretentiousness, but just because like that doesn't make them a special like Chicago isn't this land where homeless people are just more
deserving, you know.
More deserving.
Of course,
Tampa's a city too.
In Florida, especially like north of a big city like Tampa or St. Pete, the big city in Florida, anyway, if you will, people come here because they can be homeless here and they choose to. So when you see somebody that's not everybody, but when you see a homeless person on 19 in West Pasco out here, okay, they're not necessarily looking for an opportunity. Yeah. They just want to be homeless. They want to live in the woods. They want to do their crystal meth. They don't want to go clock in for a lawn company, Ryan. They don't care. They don't want to do that. That's why they came here. They may have started out in a box in Chicago, made their way down here because the weather's better.
So now you have an opportunity, so that's why I'll never get your money.
Their opportunity is to be homeless here in good weather, is what I'm trying to say.
So what I'm saying is they have no reason to be homeless down here and ask for money.
They're not truly homeless. Their home is in the woods, and they choose to go there. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're saying these every homeless man that it's in Florida.
Not every. No. The ones that are walking up and down the street here in 19 that are with the sign.
I saw this one guy last night who was like right behind a Winn-Dixie. He was sleeping on like that cargo bed right near.
Maybe that's one example. I'm talking about the people that walk up to you at any place.
I'm just saying it's 3 o'clock at night. The fucking cats. There's just a whole gang of cats.
Those are his pets. That's his home. And then he's not homeless.
He's sleeping there. That's not a home though.
Like it doesn't. For him, it is. That's what I'm trying to say.
it's hard. It's not that like I go out of my way to give money to homeless people. I'm not saying that I'm some saint that I'm like, oh, here, take my cash.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a fair description to say that like just because people like homeless people in Chicago are more deserving of money
than
a homeless person in Tampa.
No, and we're trivializing this a lot, but the fact of the matter is that there are legitimate homeless people in everywhere. Okay,
Yeah.
and a lot of those people
just saying,
need help, or they have mental illness,
more
or
up
they're
north.
disabled, or whatever it might be. But a lot of the people
There's more up north.
a lot of the people that you're complaining about, Ryan, that come up to you at the gas pump and they lie to you and say, oh, I just need some gas for my car that broke down. It really didn't break down. They're buying drugs. They're buying alcohol.
Obviously,
they choose to come to Florida to do that. It's easier for them here.
Obviously, there's more in Chicago than Tampa because Chicago, by default, has a higher population than Tampa. That's not like a thing where like Chicago is just this.
I'm just
this terrible
saying
land.
it just has a different vibe of the homeless people.
What vibe? What is this?
They have
homeless
more
vibe?
opportunity here.
There's
There's less opportunity.
What opportunities?
I'm just
do they
telling
have
you,
here
there's
other
a-
than maybe warmer weather than they do in Chicago. What more
They have
opportunities?
just as much opportunity here not to go get a job because they can live easier.
But they also
homeless.
have more opportunity to get a job here than they do up north. I'm just saying you actually have to go through
There's
like
no landscaping jobs up north.
They
There-
can
I'm
shovel
just-
snow, right?
They can shovel snow.
I'm thinking maybe it's a choice to come down to Florida and be homeless. That's what I'm trying to say. That's a conscious decision. Like, hey, let's just not pay rent and be
It's-
homeless and live on the beach or next to the beach. People are choosing to do that lifestyle. Those aren't real homeless people.
Yeah, okay, but I'm talking about about the real homeless people who are because maybe there's some maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think Ryan's talking about those same people. I think Ryan's talking about people that piss him off, that are begging him for money, and he's like, well, you could just go get a job. You're able. Look at you. They don't want to.
AJ Zafrilla, I never said there aren't homeless people down here that are like the ones up north. I'm just saying there are so many more like that up north and down here. I'm just saying most of the people that ask me for money seem like they aren't that crazy. I don't want them in my house, but I'm saying the ones up north, I promise you with all my heart, it's because they're sitting outside in cold weather. I promise you.
You had a traumatic experience watching somebody when you walked over that bridge out of the WGN building, and he gave me $4.
But
and that's
anywhere,
stuck in your head, man, you know?
It's not just that. I'm telling you, I hung out in the city a lot because I'm from there. I'm not from the city. I'm from the suburbs.
I'm from there,
but what
man.
I'm saying is I've hung out there enough. I'm just telling you. It's because AJ hasn't been there. I'm saying any of these cities, Los Angeles, those homeless people could get a job as well.
Not in LA. But
Maybe there's plenty of suburbs.
They could be the Spider-Man guy. They could be a dude.
I
dressed
think
up.
you're coming from a good place, Ryan, and I think what you're trying to say is that
I'm just saying, I think if AJ lived up north, he would get where I'm coming from. And I don't get where he's coming from because I'm not from down here, and he hasn't seen what it's like up north. That's all I'm saying.
he's making a legitimate point. I don't see how you don't see that point.
Yeah.
I see it. I just don't agree with it.
All right, well, we'll have to educate you. Let's make Ryan homeless.
Yeah, let's make him homeless, and then you could just walk around and see if you are more deserving.
You could walk up to landscaping crews, down in my neighborhood and ask if you can get
I just think there isn't a just because you're homeless in a certain area doesn't make you more deserving of a handout or make you more deserving.
Some funny news. There's this girl that commented on my post about being single who's up in Cleveland.
Yep.
She's like 32 and single, and she commented that she was 32 and single, and she just said to me, "Who's Aaron Martin? He sent me a friend request."
Aaron! That is fantastic. Can you screenshot that?
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. I have to have that.
Oh, that's legendary. That's great. That's great. That's awesome. Even though she said she's in Cleveland, he's like, I can fly you down. I'll get some pussy.
I go to Cleveland all the time.
Dude, does he have enough money where AA Ron would be able to do that?
AA Ron is basically one of two things, or two of two things. He's a celebrity bartender, if you will. And
Why is he a celebrity bartender?
Because he can walk into any place, and he's bartended at many gay bars. No joke. And he's not gay, I don't think. Maybe he is. He probably is. But he's made a name for himself in the bartending scene, and he can just basically go anywhere and say, "Hey, I'm here to bartend," and they'll let him do it. You know what I mean? It's an amazing thing with this guy.
I thought that was hilarious.
That is really funny, dude. Of all the things, man, you see somebody on Bumble or Twitter or
It was Facebook.
Was it Facebook?
It was just because he saw that she said that she was in her 30s and single. I bet.
Oh, I saw that comment. That girl commented on your post. Yeah.
Michelle, she's awesome. She's like my online best friend.
So Aaron snuck right up in there. And He's like, I'm 30 and single. What's up, girl?
Oh my God, it's hilarious, dude. Okay, so we've gone through a crazy array of topics.
Yeah.
Went from LeBron James to homeless people.
He'll be
now.
homeless.
I have one that's kind of deep. That isn't a laughing matter whatsoever. So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I'm out.
All right, see ya. It's your room, so you probably shouldn't leave.
Yeah. Just lock
Okay.
up.
So with Kate Spade or Anthony Bourdain killing themselves.
Here we go. So we went from the worst basketball almost superstar to homelessness and now to suicide. Really?
Okay. It's just I haven't done a show in 2 weeks, and I've had a lot on my mind in my personal life. So to take my mind off the personal life and to try to move on from it, you think a lot about the news and getting ready for the show. Like I've poured a lot of effort into it tonight. So what I'm saying to you is, I was thinking about it. I saw this tweet from Mike North, who used to be a sports radio guy up north in Chicago. Very talented, and he was on 670. Here's the thing. He sent out this tweet basically saying that Anthony Bourdain was a pussy and Anthony Bourdain was not able to deal with the pressure of suicide and the pressure of living life. Before we move on from this, what did the Snapchat say that AJ just tried to show to Kevin in a low-key way?
I don't know, AJ. What did it say,
Nah,
man?
don't worry about it, dude. The Snapchat's long gone.
No, what did it say?
Shout out to my friend who's all the way in Norway, Elise.
North?
What
Norway.
did she say?
No, don't worry about it.
What did she say?
She says I like the show.
Yeah.
No.
She
I'll
likes-
kick you off if you don't tell me.
Oh,
No,
you
that's
can't.
fine. I'll go. I'll go to trivia night. I'll go to trivia night.
Oh, go to
What did
trivia
it
night.
say?
We got a mic
Don't
open.
worry. She says she said
Was she insulting my voice or my persona?
she said you had a weird laugh. That's all.
Yeah. I believe it was a penguin.
She said that?
Something like that.
You're lying. Is that what it said?
Would I lie to you, Ryan?
Okay.
Have I ever lied to
I
you?
don't care. Ha ha ha! Does that sound like a penguin for you, honey?
How does a penguin sound?
Okay.
And how does she know?
Here's the thing.
So what's
Going
the
back.
topic?
Going back.
Suicide.
Going
Yeah.
back.
Great. Awesome.
Okay,
Cool.
let's
Yeah.
lighten it up.
Great.
Let's lighten
My
things
dumb
up.
Hoppe TV setup keeps falling down on Periscope. All right, here's the thing. I'm sick and tired of seeing people post that they took the easy way out and that they're pussies and that they couldn't handle life. Listen. By no means has my breakup, I haven't even been close to thinking about suicide. Not even anywhere near that, because I'm afraid of death. But at the same time, Sunday, driving home, so my ex dumped me around 5 p.m., and then 6 hours later, I had to board up overnight at the Bone. So right when I got off at 5 a.m., I was, I'll admit, weeping in the car, pulled over into Walgreens, the parking lot, and I threw up. I was just very anxious, going through a lot. I'm doing better each day that comes by. But what I'm saying is, I kind of went, this is probably how they feel times 100, but they're not able to control it. Here's how it's kind of similar. I'm never going to ever be with my ex again. She dumped me. She moved on. I'm moving on. But here's what I'm saying. That's a thing I'm not able to make right or make wrong. It's moved on. The same thing can be said for their mental health. They can't just take the brain wiring in their brain that says you don't deserve to be here. Because I've seen a lot of people go, well, they're being selfish. They're not thinking about their kids. In their suicidal mind, they're probably thinking, my kid deserves better. They're probably thinking nice thoughts about their kid. Like, I love my kid so much that I'm a burden to them. None of them are thinking, oh, my kid's a piece of shit. I want to leave him behind. I'm sick and tired of hearing this garbage from uptight people where they're making fun of people that commit suicide. We don't know what they're going through. If you honestly, and I heard Mike Kelta talking about it, the idea of like hanging yourself and all the effort you're putting into it, like if you're that focused on hanging yourself with a tie or with a belt, you're crazy. Like, so this whole thing that they're taking the easy way out, they think this is the right decision. That's all I'm saying.
I take it a step further. What about the ones that think their children don't deserve, that this world is so bad that they feel guilty that they brought them into it and they take their children with them? You know what I mean?
That's when I'm like, what are you doing?
That's true mental illness
That
right
was
there,
that was actually so once in high school there,
Mm-hmm.
this kid dated a girl who her dad, we don't know any story, just one night the dad came in. The girl wasn't allowed to go outside, like go and hang out with her friends for some reason. So he literally burned the whole house down while everyone was sleeping. And
that happened up north in Chicago too.
So they looked at.
Well, it's cold up north.
They did when they did the autopsies with everything.
It's a terrible joke.
This guy.
God damn it, Kevin. Why'd you have to say that?
I'm sorry, dude.
This guy was so deranged, and so he attached fireworks, duct tape fireworks to the family's head. And to the family's heads, and it was just some of the most grotesque.
Is this a confirmed story?
No, this happened. This happened in the Avila neighborhood.
I don't need the details. I'm just like, I didn't know if it was hearsay or a rumor.
It happened in the Avila neighborhood on 1234 Main Street.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was confirmed.
The house on the corner.
This was on the police report, and so it's crazy how it happens, and it's like it's not even that they think what they're doing is evil or they think what they're doing is bad. They just think that that's the next.
Well, you don't know what they think, but you
that's
can speculate and say that they think that's the right thing to do.
They think that's what's in it. Like just like out of some crazy turn of events, they're just the way they interpret things. They're like, this is the next step. Now, not people who are right in the head. They don't think that way, or people who are not so right in the head, but people who aren't exposed to like what they've been exposed to, they don't think that way.
Do you guys know anybody that's have you known anyone that committed suicide, or have you had friends?
There was a girl when I was in 12th grade. She was in 10th grade. She was the most sweetest. She was very pretty too. But what I'm saying is she played sports. She was outgoing. She was kind of religious. I don't think she was like that religious. But she was like a sweet girl, an absolute sweetheart. You would think she was appreciating every second of life. She hung herself. And I remember that next day, this was in 2011, that next day was so awful. It was rest in peace, Gina. Every single person was so heartbroken. I was even like, damn. Like,
I have a friend right now that that's one of the reasons that took me a few minutes before we started the show. Granted, I did talk to a gentleman downstairs, but I was on my phone, and I have a friend that I grew up with as a teenager in Chicago, in Schaumburg, that people are concerned about him. And they voiced it on Facebook, and people are commenting, and they're like, where is this guy? And one guy said he's doing great things, and other people said, I've been worried about him for weeks. Who knows, That's
what's freaky about Anthony Bourdain killing himself, because I'll admit, I'm going to begin watching his work. I'm a big fan of Anthony Bourdain. The issue is I just haven't seen much of it. But he was a frequent guest on Opie and Jim, and he was a frequent guest on Opie and Anthony. And every time he was on, it was radio gold. And I just respected his body of work and the fact that somebody who's traveled the world, made millions, has been on CNN, say what you want about Obama, but was able to sit down and do a show.
That was so cool. That I didn't know anything about that until after his death, and I was like, wow, look at how cool that is. He got to sit down in some weird restaurant. What is it, like Vietnam or something?
And it
eat
was
with Obama, dude.
And
I think it was in Cuba.
Imagine the server that served them. Didn't even know any better.
And you know what was good about his interviews? That he was kind of like Calta here in Tampa, or was like Howard. His interviews, when he had people on, it was more like a friend talking to people. It was like a guy who was laid back. Because when you watch, did you see the Obama interview with David Letterman on Netflix? Yeah. I couldn't watch more than 10 minutes of it. We're not going to talk about Obama. We're not going to talk about Trump because you lean more to the right. Or I lean more to the left. The thing is this. The problem with it was, I think Obama did a lot of good. I think there's a lot of things he didn't do well at all, and I think there's a lot of things he never got done.
Thought we were going to talk about it.
At the same time, I almost said LeBron James for some reason. David Letterman spent the first 20 minutes of the show letting Obama pat himself on the back that his arm was so sore he probably went completely numb. Like the whole time, he's just going, I did this, I did that. Look at me, I'm now ripped. I'm now gliding in overseas places. I'm now by the water. It was the most narcissism I've ever seen from Obama.
Isn't that sad?
But the thing is this, Anthony Bourdain, the one with Obama, I watched it. It showed the more human side of Obama. Shows that he's a better interviewer. No offense to Letterman. Letterman's a legend. But it shows a better side of Bourdain, the fact that you were able, even if you don't like Obama, you were able to see the more human side because he kind of kept him in check while Letterman basically just sucked his dick for an hour.
No, so
I hear that.
His suicide actually hit me pretty hard because Anthony Bourdain was I always watched him almost every day on
he was
Travel Channel,
fun, man. Yeah.
And especially when he moved to Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown on CNN. That's the only show I watch on CNN because of him. But I don't know. I wouldn't live with myself if I didn't say anything about it because he was an inspiration to me in terms of. I'm doing culinary school. In terms of traveling, I always wanted to travel. And he was so good at not only talking about a place, but you felt like you were there with him.
So he's a personal hero to you.
Huge personal hero.
That's cool.
And he is there. He knows that a place isn't just about the food, and a place isn't just about the landmarks. It's about the history. It's about the people. And a lot of these these shows that are on today, all these food shows, are these chefs. They go to these expensive restaurants and they talk about the food there. The food is just this high class, snobby thing that it's a right or no, it's a privilege to get.
Yeah, he's eating fucking snails and some weird.
He shows that good food doesn't just come from 5-star chefs.
Yeah.
He can just find some fishermen in Greece and just have a great dinner with them, talking to him, about how's the economic crisis been with your family, showing, actually connecting with people. And he was just you could tell the death is really
it's getting to you.
It's getting a little bit to me, but honestly, it's just and that just goes to show he didn't seem like he was sad. He didn't seem like anything. He just seemed like a guy who loved what he did.
I heard that he was lonely, though.
I could see that.
He's had a history with drugs, and he's had history with.
Well, he was a back of the house kitchen employee for half his life. You know, so.
and then he became a food writer, and he honestly just. I don't really give a shit about all that stuff.
Do you wish that it was Guy Fieri instead?
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
No, I actually not to discredit anything with Guy.
I wish it was anybody in ISIS.
Okay,
I'm cool with that.
The ISIS, the top chef in ISIS. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Waffle House at all? Do you like the Waffle House?
Yeah.
On a 1 to 10, how great do you rate it?
It's Waffle House. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't really. I guess
10. All day long
for what it is, because Waffle House is a place just to when you're hungover and or when you're drunk and
you can jerk off on somebody's pancakes and watch them eat it. Nobody gives a shit.
Okay, I would give it a 7. I had 6.
Anthony Bourdain's review of the Waffle House makes it seem like it's the fanciest place in France.
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
Showing the Waffle House at night. Very busy in there.
It is indeed marvelous. An irony-free zone where everything is beautiful and nothing hurts. Where everybody, regardless of race, creed, color, or degree of inebriation, is welcomed. Its warm yellow glow, a beacon of hope and salvation, inviting the hungry, the lost, the seriously hammered, all across the South to come inside. A place of safety and nourishment. It never closes. It is always faithful, always there for you.
Can you pause that? Is it over?
It's over.
Dude, I have to chime in on this. We were just talking. I mean, Adrian's wiping tears off his face about how much he loves this guy, right? And I get it, man.
It just hit me.
For me, if Greg Maddox committed suicide, I would cry. You know what I mean? That's my personal hero, if you will, okay? So you just got done talking about how this guy can meet a fisherman in Greece and make a great meal out of it, and how it inspires you, and it's something that you just you get in, and there he is talking about Waffle House, and it's it's a funny dynamic about how he's so good at his job that you could literally put him anywhere, and it's entertaining.
He could have done voiceover if he did.
Yeah, and there was a potential, you were talking about him being a great interview, better than Letterman. You were saying. Imagine that. Imagine the potential he could have had.
And I'm not saying Letterman's not good. I'm just saying the thing with Letterman, it's just he just lets the people just pat themselves on the back. And I feel like he's just better at interviewing. Plain and simple. Not even a doubt in my mind.
He's a natural at it, you know? His life experiences make him good at it.
And David Letterman kind of creeps me out. It's not even the banging the intern thing.
It's that beard thing, though.
Everything about him, he just...
What
there's known rumors that he was very hard to work with. And he just seems grouchy. He seems like he never was able to accept the fact that Jay Leno got the Tonight Show and he didn't.
I've just bit my tongue on that because I wanted to say, what do you think about Leno? He's coming to Ruth Eckerd or Mahaffey.
If I can get tickets at work, I'll go. But I'm not
I'd like to go with you.
I'm not paying a cent. Listen, here's my thing on Jay Leno. Do I think Jay Leno loves himself? Is he a narcissist? Is he a crazy dude that was out of his mind? Yes. But he was really good at being very vanilla. Like when it's 10 to 20 out and it's freezing out in the Midwest, because most of his numbers came from the Midwest. He was so popular in the Midwest. He kind of just represented the everyday average Joe. Even though he's worth like $100 million, there's something about the Midwest where they just immediately related to Jay Leno. And I'm not saying that he is an everyday man whatsoever. Oh, as Kevin and AJ just had a hug. All I'm saying is there was this idea of Jay Leno. He seemed like a blue-collar guy. I don't know what it was. And looking back, I go, man, I was an idiot for thinking that. But Kevin, do you know what I'm saying? He seemed like he was more of the show for like the everyday man.
I think you're right. I was a Carson fan growing up because I used to watch my dad watch it.
I wasn't alive for that. But here's the thing. Yeah. My mom owns the series on DVD. It's not every episode, obviously, because there's a lot that are just involved.
That Johnny Carson collection.
Yeah, but my mom gave it to me.
Watch it. You love it.
Watched maybe
really
1/5 of it. Yeah. Johnny Carson's so good. And they would show reruns of them. I'm going to turn this off.
I think that's me.
They showed reruns of this in Chicago on WCIU Channel 2, Me TV. You could tell he loved himself, but he's just like the OG. He's like the Howard of late night TV. Yep. He's like the Simpsons. He was just so marvelous.
You're not wrong about that at all. He was the pioneer of late night television.
Here's the thing. Here's what I loved most about Johnny Carson, even though I haven't seen that much of it. Here's what I liked about him. You never knew where he was when it came to being on the right or left. I used to love Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel used to be my favorite. He was my favorite back in the day. But now he's so fucking liberal. It's like, shut up.
But let me tell you, back then it was... They have this thing, like they had journalistic integrity, or they had it was improper to talk politics on late night TV
and I
shows.
miss that. It's
it
annoying.
Still is professionally. If you're a salesman, if you're in the corporate world, you never talk politics or religion to a client.
But
and
now
that's your client.
In the media world, everyone
totally
wants
different.
someone who's opinionated. Everybody that if you're not opinionated, then why should they be watching?
It's
it?
terrible, AJ, and that's why I feel passionate about telling people, like, you should watch that. You should watch Carson. Back in the day, man, that's good stuff, you know?
Yeah, and people were... And that's why I liked Jimmy Fallon for a while. And Jimmy Fallon, you could say what you want about him, but he... Look, I don't think the show is my favorite show is Conan. And
he's still cute and funny, man.
He's still an adorable guy. He's a sweet guy.
He's a sweetheart.
All he just wants to do is put on a show for everybody and hopes someone would laugh. Yep. And that's
kind of like Happy Hour.
Jimmy Fallon listen, hear me out. Don't go, oh, you're being edgy. Jimmy Fallon is an awful late night TV host. Hear me out.
I don't think you're being edgy. I think that there is some
your opinion. Sure.
He's really, really bad. But you know what he does better than anybody else on late night TV, even better than Kimmel? You just want to give him a hug. He's just so cute. You're like, oh my God, he's adorable. And his interviews, he'll talk to you for 2 minutes, let them plug and say whatever, and then he plays beer pong. He's just that guy you want to party with. Yeah. And the thing about Jimmy Fallon is this. Is he a good late night TV host or interviewer? No.
I think so.
But his show's like a circus, and he's a brilliant, flawless ringleader. He just brings everything in. Let's do this. Let's have the roots here. Let's do this.
Ryan, that's actually a really intelligent, accurate thing that you just said.
He's a ringleader.
Yeah.
He's not the best talent, but he knows.
Give it up to Ryan Hoppe, right?
For what?
Wow.
Maybe it's because I'm single now. Yeah.
Hey.
But what I'm saying is he going to go down as the all-time great? No, but there's a reason why he's been doing it for 8 years. He does... you feel comfortable watching him. Yeah, he's corny, but he's everything Arsenio Hall wanted to do 5 years ago when he came back but couldn't do.
You know, he's told a story with Nicole Kidman in studio as a guest about how when he was starting out or something. And I'm gonna mess this up, and I've talked about it before.
Of course you will. You suck.
She showed up. I learned it from watching you, Ryan. So she showed up at his apartment in New York before a show or something like that, and he thought it was just business or whatever. And so he was just like standoffish.
I know the story.
Yeah, he bought like cheese and crackers, and she was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Just cheese and crackers. You know, you're here. Let's hang out and do what we talk about. What we got to talk about." So then she was a guest on the show, and she brought it up, and he was embarrassed, and she was like, "I thought you were so cute, and I couldn't wait to meet you in your apartment." And he was like, "Wait a minute, he had the opportunity to bang Nicole Kidman and let it go because he was trying to be professional. You know what I mean?" Or he was shy, that cute shy guy,
You know he bangs hard, though. You know he goes at it.
What? Does he eat butt?
I think
Does he eat butt? It doesn't matter.
I'm not trying to bash Jimmy Kimmel. Or no, Jimmy Fallon. I just bashed Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, fuck Jimmy Kimmel.
But what I'm saying is Jimmy Fallon is kind of an alcoholic. I'm not beginning accusations, but there's a lot of rumors that he'll buy everybody at the bar drinks and he has a drinking issue. You know that he goes ham and he takes the girl back.
Go ham?
And he's doing...
You mean home?
It's a term...
You said goes ham?
It's a term from 2011 with Jay-Z.
Oh, God, that's why I don't know.
It's called hard as a motherfucker. And you know...
Please play it. He goes ham.
Yeah.
What is going ham? I don't even know.
Hard as a motherfucker.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, I go ham all the time. I'm going ham right now. AJ, you want to go ham later?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Wait. Let me...
This is a good song.
This was my jam. This is going to make Kevin feel so old.
It's not a
Senior year, 2011. There you go. Oh, wait, I forgot. They don't have any of it on online. It's only on the app Tidal.
Well, I know it. Just play it and I'll sing along. It's fine. I got this.
It was all good just a week ago. And they go, I'm about to go ham. How does the motherfucker let these friends know who I am?
Just never rap again.
I'm about to go ham. How does the motherfucker let my friends know who I am?
Well, I guess I got to go to trivia night. I'll see you guys later.
All right, bye.
Oh, man, we lost power.
No, we didn't.
No.
You scared me. I was like, why is this...
The room is unusually dark today.
It is,
Have
actually.
you ever noticed?
Oh, I never turned the lights
We should just bang right now. Get over here.
Whoa, what? Let's go.
Oh,
we're going ham.
my
Hey.
goodness.
With the lighting here,
We're gonna
it's
go.
like you're at a glow stick party.
We're going to...
And you come in, and you get money. Yeah.
What does get muddy mean, dude?
I don't
We're
know, I
going to
made
bang
that up.
hard as a motherfucker and get money.
Isn't that
The gayest thing I ever heard in my life, dude.
what people do? What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hardcore gay.
What's so gay about getting money?
I don't know. What do you...
I bet you like money.
How dare you want to pay your bills?
I saw my favorite line ever is like, what, you don't like tomatoes on your burger? What are you, gay?
Yeah, what are you, gay? I mean, just look at my dick, man. What are you, some kind of gay? Just touch it.
Oh, dude, you just looked at my... Dude, you know what's pretty...
Yeah, party, Skrillex, Cascade.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a rave here.
No, we're not.
Yeah. Woo!
You're the only guy that dances like a 40-year-old mother. You dance like Ellen.
Yeah.
All you need is a faux hawk.
I wish I was Ellen. She makes a lot of money. Woo! Happy hour. All right, enough of that.
You dance like Ellen.
You know, he does, she always had. The moms always have to raise their arms up in the air.
Yeah.
Like notice me.
Raise the roof. Raise
Yeah.
the roof. That's the only line they know.
That's
They're
the
like,
only
yeah,
thing
we're
they
gonna
know.
raise that roof.
And it just
I'm
they,
like Jersey Shore in 2011.
they-
Yeah.
they bounce up and down. They just I don't know.
Dude.
Pretty soon they'll be twerking.
Did you
know,
watch
like,
Jersey
Mom,
Shore last
Mom,
week?
stop twerking, please.
I did not. I saw how Angelina got back. That's where I'm at.
Dude, how great is it?
It's amazing. Like
It's so what I love about Jersey Shore, it's just because I grew up watching it. It's not a good show, it's an awful show, but
a
it's
guilty
just
pleasure.
so they're such awful human beings and they're such creeps in their 30s acting like they're in their 20s. That's what's so magical about Jersey Shore is they're just such pieces of shit that you're like, man, Paulie D's like 37. He's beginning to look old, and he's just
Stop
gold.
with the old talk. You fucking come on, man.
No,
And Mike, the situation's eating
Like-
everything in sight.
bro, like I just saw this one clip where they're going back to the gym and they're like, "Yo, so we're back at the gym,
Yeah.
and Mike, the situation looks like he's having a little food situation, and then you see him on the treadmill, just like walking slow, eating like a candy, like a protein candy bar, and he's just looking around his dumb face like, whoa, what's going on? He's really it's hilarious, and then they're still like the only person who's kind of grown up is the dude that's getting evicted for tax fraud
Because he had to. He's on TV. That is such horse crap. Because everything he has said is such horse crap about, I'm a changed man. The only reason you're a changed man is because you're facing prison for tax evasion. I would change too if I had to.
But then everybody else is still the same. Snooki is still just this loud broad.
She likes it in the butt, though. You know, I heard.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
Where'd you hear that from?
During one of the episodes back in the day.
Dude, you know what I wonder? Is I feel like that whole house, they've banged each other. I feel like they've all...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
AJ and I have banged in here.
Yeah,
I don't know where you've been. Yeah.
Countless amount of times. We banged in your seat.
You know how I was...
banged in your seat.
You know how I was engaged for like 8 months and I was with this person for 18 months?
Yeah.
You remember this one time?
We're not going to talk about her.
I came
don't
back-
do it. Don't do
Remember
it.
this
Come on.
time I came
Don't
back
fall
really
in that
sweaty?
rabbit hole.
Remember this time I came back really sweaty?
yeah, I remember
We
it.
banged in the bathroom.
At the dump tower? No, you did not.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. That's why the sink is broken.
Wait, the men's room or the women's room?
Women's room.
Thank God. Woo! Hey, congratulations, bro.
Dude, it was
Fuck
fun.
You christened the dump tower, Ryan. How proud of you.
How did you not notice his whole back was just sweat
I just thought he was sweaty, dude. I
The
don't even
funny
remember
part
it.
was...
and his face was red and he just looked like he came out of
He's already walking funny. What do you want me to...
looks like he came out of an oven. I didn't think that punchline. That wasn't
I
even
know,
like my
that was
go-to punchline.
unnecessary laughter. It was an easy bake oven. Then we could have got the laughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
So loud.
here's the deal.
I love you, Ryan Hoppe.
Is there a deal? Are we doing the art of the deal? By Donald J. Trump?
Yeah, I'll be Kim Jong.
I like you.
I love 2018.
Remember?
Kim Kardashian is in the Oval Office and Dennis Rodman is speaking on foreign affairs. If 2018's not weird, I don't know
They
what
all
is.
called Dennis Rodman crazy.
Yeah, right. He's an ambassador to the. You know,
You called me a worm.
Wait a minute.
Look
Wait
at
a
this
minute.
worm.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I got it. Kim Kardashian.
Oh! It's a party at Hoppe.
I'd like to go to break on that.
Thank you. I'd like to break you on that.
Happy hour is about to end, but first, it's time for last call.
Where can people find you?
They could wait. Which you are you
Anything,
talking
anybody.
about? Me?
AJ, where can they
Okay.
find your work?
They can find my work at PromoRed1025 on Twitter, and they can check me out every Thursday on
Right here, as I fucking touch your muscles, you sexy man.
All right, relax. Not in front
AJ
of...
Zavrilla at Grindr.com.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, of
God.
course. No, you can find me
I thought that was you.
on the Lazy Ass Podcast. You can tweet at us at Those Lazy Asses.
Yeah.
And you can find us on Facebook, The Lazy Ass Podcast. Email us too. LazyAssPodcast@gmail.com.
Kevin, what about you? What are you up to? What are you doing?
KevinHollyShow.com. That's all. Last week's episode, I interviewed the always dangerous Dougie Almeida, stand-up comedian, nationwide act. Very, very cool.
Cool.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
This has been brought to you by Metro PCS Speedy Link at 6813 Palm River Road, and that is in Tampa. If you go there and tell them that I sent you, they will hook you up with a great deal. They have 22 locations in the Bay Area, from Dade City all the way to Sarasota. So they will hook you up with a great deal. Also, RyanHoppyRadio.com, at Ryan Hoppy Radio on Graham and Twitter, Hoppy Radio on Snapchat,
What about that sauce? A hot sauce. Hot sauce.
Tampa Bay hot sauce, man. I'm not just saying this because we're friends. AJ, how good was their sauce?
Their sauces were amazing. Like, even the hottest one that they have, I felt like I could have just guzzled it.
TampaBayHotSauce.com. All right, get the Hoppy Radio app.
Wait, one more plug.
Yeah.
MarijuanaGolf.com. My proud sponsor.
That was you.
Can I bring one more plug in? And
What?
Since we're doing this?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this
A butt
Thursday,
We're
we're going to announce Gareth's punishment for the Lazy Ass Podcast. It's going to be great. And also, we're going to have Sharon Concio from she's a YouTube star with 200,000 subscribers.
Nice.
And she will be joining us on Thursday. So please.
In studio?
In studio.
Is she hot?
Of course.
Dude.
We don't. Yeah, she's a lovely lady.
I'll be in the parking lot hanging
She's
out.
a nice lady.
She's a good woman.
Anyways, tune in.
Here's the deal. This has been Hoppy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppy, signing off. Bye!
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.